Liverpool versus everybody. It's here finally. It seems like it's been a whole nother off season in between the West Ham match and the Palace match. Lots of things to talk about. And first, I just want to talk about the whole idea of playing last. And I think, as non-fun as that is, because we're watching all these other teams, you want to watch Liverpool, especially after that performance, and just to see how consistent we can be in another game against a team that, in my opinion, we should be beating. You do get to watch these other teams, these top six teams, and kind of see it's still only the second game. There's but so long we can go on and say, oh, but it's only these amount of games. You are starting to see how these teams are doing and what their strengths and weaknesses are, even though it's a second game. They've had a full off season, and yes, there's still some players on lots of teams who've just come back from the World Cup, more or less just come back. And so there's things that have to happen. But I want to break down the top six teams that we saw this week, and why not start with Chelsea versus Arsenal? Listen, that was supposed to be the biggest game of the weekend, and it was a pretty good game. I'm gonna start with Arsenal, and I think number one, let me just say this: whoever's saying Emery out, Unai Emery out, whether you're just doing some banter or you're serious, you need to stop. And it's insane. It's going to be a project. It's a new regime. It's a new manager. Totally new ideas. Besides the idea of attacking, if you want to say Wenger was that kind of a manager as well. It's a different situation. New players. What I don't get, the only thing I question Unai Emery about is Thompson. What's up, man? Good to have you on. I woke up early too. Obviously, it's what 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock here, something in the morning. But I have all these things in my mind, so I want to get it out. So you guys bear with me. The thing that I'd be worried about if I'm an Arsenal fan is why this manager isn't starting Lacazette and Aubameyang together. This squad had Lacazette. This is before Unai Emery, of course. Then you go get Aubameyang. Did you go get Aubameyang because you wanted him to usurp Lacazette? You wanted him to ride with Lacazette for that starting position? Maybe. In my opinion, you're getting Aubameyang to start them both up front. You see when they're both on the field how much better they are. So I don't get that. They got some young players. The guy Gunduzi is pretty good. Tortilla from Sampdoria is there. So they have some players, but they got you have to gel that. So we're only going to know what Arsenal is going to be like after one full season under this manager. You cannot expect a lot of things to come from them. The fans shouldn't expect a lot of things to come from them this season. That's just my opinion. Arsenal have choose to use that high line far too early. Yeah, continue to play that, and they won't get tough. Yeah. I mean, again, that's the way he wants to play, and you wonder if they've done that during preseason. Because for me, when you look at Arsenal players, they don't really know what to do. They're looking around. Should I press? Bellerin should be a model. Okay, he should not be a football player anymore. He's been at Arsenal long enough, and he still seems like he just came out of the academy. Why they're not starting Lichtsteiner on that side? I don't care what he's naturally left-footed, right-footed. You cannot have Bellerin starting the game. Put his ass on the bench. Let him watch a seasoned professional who's not concerned with having nice hair and wearing earrings and shit play the role, and maybe you can get some joy down that side. That's just my opinion. Dominic says I understand he wants to play like that, but he needs to adapt for the players he currently has. Yeah, it's easy for us to say. I mean, everyone has egos. In his mind, this is the way he's seen this team, and he thinks it's going to... I agree with you, but I don't see him changing it, really. He's going to have some real serious pressure on him to do that if he hasn't had it already, and still, he might say, listen, I know what I'm doing. This team is capable of doing it. They just have to do it. In his mind, he might think it's still early, and, he said it at the post-match. He sees some promising elements, and that he's going to stick with that, so... who am I to say? As a football fan, me watching, I'm just saying the high press, maybe not so soon. Maybe turn it on in the second half. Maybe do some more training on it. So these guys you don't have them looking around and not knowing, oh, do I press now or do I fall back? That's the issue. If your players don't know what to do, that's a problem. I think Emery just using the winger players to prove themselves. So far, they are falling massively. Yeah, I agree. And they look very winded. It's not a team like under Klopp where he's been doing this season after season after season. Players, they know the preseason. He kills them basically running. All they do most of the time they do is just run. They do drills like every other team. They do a lot of running, and so these guys look winded at the hour mark, and that's not good. Dominic says, I'm not looking forward to playing Arsenal. Our front three will destroy that high. Oh, you are looking. You are looking. Yeah. By that time, I don't even know when we play them. If someone knows, let me know. By that time, you got to believe there'll be some different changes in what they're doing. If he's smart. I mean, I've never really rated him as a manager. I know he's done very well with Sevilla. They were in the Europa League. I mean, I don't know how many years straight and won it. I don't know 3 times, 4 times, something like that. So he's a decent manager. Is he a manager that I think it should be highly sought after? No. I mean, if he was to come to Liverpool at some point, that wouldn't fill me with any amazing joy or anything like that. But I mean, I think he's a decent manager, and we'll see. We'll see. Chelsea. Look, the object is to win the football game. So I'm not going to get on here and say how much I'm not impressed and where the holes are. What I will say is they've got 6 points. They're 2-0. So that's it. This whole sorry ball, though, I okay. I mean, here's the thing. Going back to Arsenal, Unai Emery is not on the pitch. So you have a team who missed 12 sitters. I'm exaggerating. You could have had at least three more goals. They could have had at least 3 more goals, which obviously you would have won 5-3. So again, we're quick to talk about managers, and I get it. When your teams lose, managers are part of the blame either way, and that's what they sign up for. You know what I mean? So there's no you can't hide from that. But at the same time, players got to do what they're getting paid for. You know what I mean? Aubameyang, who my man HH said would be the lead scorer this season. And maybe he still will, but not like that. He missed 2 wide open goals. I mean, that's just off. Yeah, they were crap in the second half, but in the first half they had 2 or 3 sitters. So like bump the second half. If they would have scored those goals in the first half, there is no second half to talk about because they would have won. You know, assuming Chelsea didn't put on some scoring storm, and again, Hazard came in, he changed the game. I'm slowly but sure. I'm not there yet. I'm almost coming to the side of my man HH saying Hazard is the best player in the Premier League. And I think he just means on skill set alone. Not necessarily consistency, not stats, but changing a game and being that very essential to your side. And that's what he did. That's 2 weeks in a row now. He's come on, got the assist for the late goal. In this game, the winner. So, you can't knock him from that aspect. But Chelsea's Chelsea. They've got players in each level of the pitch. So Hazard is not a better dribbler than Giroud. Mercy, are you trolling, my man? Because he's not a better dribbler than Giroud, really? Okay. Well, maybe I need to watch Giroud a bit more. Giroud for me is good in the air. That's it. Maybe a nice hold down of the ball from time to time. But look, he's a World Cup winner, so I'll leave the disrespect at the door. Let's talk about City. I'm sure you all have seen the documentary at this point. I want to know your ideas on that. I thought it was interesting. I think there was some. It's always nice to see kind of the behind the scenes, what managers go through, and you also see how passionate and how demanding he is of his players. And I think the best teams over time, call them assholes, call them abusive. Over time, those kind of managers get the best out of their teams, whether it's through fear, respect, or whatever. But say what you want about Pep being a fraud, he can't win the Champions League anymore. If he would be managing a team like Scunthorpe or Bournemouth, he wouldn't be doing anything. Maybe not. A lot of managers wouldn't be doing anything with that level of squad, though. So you call it what you want. Pep gets what he needs to get out of his team, and so for that, you got to respect him for it. Hazard is the best attacking midfielder in the league, no question, Jason says. Okay. I have a feeling Chelsea will finish above us. Wow. Yeah, someone said that on the Hangout last night, HH. Fair enough. Thompson, Conte was playing a more attacking role. Let's talk about Conte. Glad you brought that up. This guy is able to switch his game, change his mind frame for any role that the manager asks him to. I mean, this guy is bombing forward now. When have we ever seen that? When? I mean, he was in the opposition team's box at least 5 times, if not more. So, I mean, if this guy's going to be able to add that to his game, I mean, he was already the best player in the world to me. You adding that to your games, you're getting goals. He's got 1, but if he's going to add that to his game and get goals, I mean, come on. Hazard is a winger. Yeah, a winger attacking midfield role. Yeah, he can play. Yeah, he's a winger. Fine, sure. Jason, he's not really your traditional winger, though. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't know. Listen, this is not a. I'm not. This is not a fanboy of Hazard segment. Again, I'm still not on the side of saying yet that he's the best player in the Premier League. I see where people are coming from, and I see why they would say that. We're all entitled to our own opinion. I'm not about to call him the best player in the Premier League. I'm sorry. I think Pogba is better than him. He may not have better performances. They're both, in my opinion, more inconsistent than they need to be or they should be, being these kind of huge characters in both of their sides. Sadio Mane is definitely up there. I think this season is really going to kind of remind people and reintroduce people honestly, because I think people don't really. I think people see opposition teams, fans, supporters. I think they look at Mane as just a fast player. He's very fast. And he's definitely that. Between him and Salah, it's a toss up. You put the name in the hat, pick one out. I think Mane is quicker. I think in a race, Salah may beat him. I obviously could be wrong. I think Mane is quicker. He has that cat-like speed where he can just get past a guy real quick or beat a guy to a ball real quick. Salah seems to be able to outrun anyone on the planet. So it's good to have those two speedy guys. But what I'm saying is, same with Salah. They're also very cerebral. They're not just fast African players. That's not what they are. They are fast African players, but it's more to their game and to their makeup as football players than just the speed that they possess. So that's my feeling about Mane. I think this season he is going to have a breakout season. Just like almost every game we thought Salah would score, I think Mane, you got to add that to it, because now everyone knows Salah. They want to put 2-3 guys on him within reason, not to keep everybody else open, but play kind of a zonal situation against him. And maybe when they're playing a low block, they will shift more so to the left slightly, keeping the right side not open, but not as I think not as much coverage as they will on the left side when they kind of pan over collectively as a defense for Salah's side. Sadio Mane is the most talented Premier League player, says Mercy. Thompson, all or nothing really shows the human aspect of football. It does. It does. Everything that went on with Mendy, David Silva and his baby. It's good to see his baby yesterday on the pitch holding him. I think he's premature. He's 25. I forget how many weeks it was that he was premature. But yeah, that was touching to see. You know what I mean? And I hope everything's well with his family and kids. Look, having rivals and hating teams when it comes to family things, I think everyone should probably be putting that to a side. Was chilling with Zara's older brother, Zaha, I guess. Okay, he says Zaha is going to be on fire this season. Apparently, he's looking for a move next season. So, but he's very focused. I think Zaha should stay at Crystal Palace. Tell me any top 6 team that he would come right into. Let me know any top 6 team with the current players of those top 6 teams that he would come right into and start. Zaha wants to play. So I respect the idea that you were hanging with his brother, and he said he was going to. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to say he's not going to be good this season. He should be hungry every season. He's their best player. Arsenal, maybe. I don't even know if that's a guarantee. Again, under Hodgson, I think he doesn't want to stay. I mean, he just signed a new contract, so that might be true. Fine, great. But to me, him staying this season for Crystal Palace was the best thing he's ever done in his career. Azam, what's up, man? Good to see some new people in here, or people who have been here for a while. I don't think he comes right in. I love Zaha, but he didn't come right into Liverpool. He didn't come right into Chelsea. Definitely didn't come right into City. United, no. He probably wouldn't go back there anyway. Spurs, no. So I don't know. I mean, in a situation right now where they have Son at the Asian Cup tournament games, whatever it's called, maybe that's a chance. But then you got the Brazilian there that's playing up top with Harry Claims. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know where he would go in. But okay, fine. He doesn't want to be there. He's going to have an amazing season. Well, here's your second opportunity. So listen, Zaha is very good. He's also a player that thrives off of the mood of the game. If he's not getting passes, if he's missing shots, he's gone. I'm saying that he's gone. Mentally, he's gone. He gets frustrated. If you can take him off his game, you're good. Now, he's always keen to have a pluck here and there that he can pull out of a bag, sure. But you get him out the game, you're physical with him, he misses some chances, You stop the passes into him. You stop that whole this whole idea of them funneling balls in through him, whether it's through Benteke off a knockdown or a pass from midfield from MacArthur or whoever. You frustrate him, and that's the way you shut Crystal Palace down. I put an image of Zaha slash Salah as a thumbnail because that's what this game is really about when you come down to it. Now, both teams have other players that can hurt you, more so Liverpool than Crystal Palace. But best believe Palace have some other guys. Now, they didn't do well at all that season when Zaha wasn't playing. I don't think they won any games without Zaha. So it shows you what that team is about, who they're centered around. But they have other players that can hurt you. Say what you want about Benteke. I said it already. He's one of them. Set piece, knockdown, the physical grit that he has, although he doesn't always use, in my opinion, to the best of his ability. But there are other players on that team that can hurt you. So we don't want to be like other teams and saying, oh, they would come say, oh, we just focus on Salah and everything else will work itself out. Although to a degree, that's really dangerous for teams to think about us. But we can turn around and say the same thing. But I will say, when you take Zaha out the game, you have a better chance. I'll say that. Zaha should go to Dortmund. Now, see, something like that I go with. In the Premier League, no. I think he needs to go elsewhere and then maybe come back. But see what you can do elsewhere. Rip it up in those leagues. Then maybe come back. What do you think the score would be tonight? I think 3-1. Yeah, 4-0. 4-0. I'm going big again. I think this is a chance for us to make a statement. More so than the statement we may have made against West Ham. West Ham is a poor, poor side. I had them losing to Bournemouth. They did that. And shout out to Bournemouth. 6 points right now. I know it's still early, but, Eddie Howe's doing some good things with them. So, Palace will be, look, they'll be slightly more difficult, slightly. But, this whole hoodoo and people scared about going to Selhurst Park, we've done pretty well there under Klopp. This is not Brendan Rodgers, so all due respect to BR. But I just, call me crazy, but I don't have any concerns. I really don't. All this time off can only be a good thing as well. You would have had more time with the team, more meetings, more breakdown of footage on Palace, more just togetherness. If there's any guys who had some extra knocks or sicknesses, that's good as well. The starting lineup to me is still slightly a mystery with certain positions. Right fullback, who's going to be in the midfield. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm not even going to be on here and talking about that any much further than that. But City, back to them about the documentary. I know everyone saw that. I think, let me get to a couple of these comments, guys. Sorry about that. Zaha is like Cam Newton. They are hot and cold players. Yeah, that's a very, very, very good comparison, Thompson. I like that. Yeah. I don't even know who. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Both talented dudes, really talented, ultra talented. But you never know if they can really reach that kind of creme de la creme of players in their game. So, City. Look, Huddersfield. Shout out to David Wagner. I don't know how he was able to keep this team up last season. They didn't really get many goals. They had some really good results. But that is a miracle, and I think him and Chris Hughton deserve some kind of, Nobel Football Prize or something, because that is just unheard of. To keep those teams up with, beyond average players, it's a miracle. It really is a miracle, and that's why you love football, and that's why you play the games. You go into a game. I'll talk about United in a minute, but you go into a game, United and Brighton, and you think United should have this, right? City. That game got out of hand really, really early, and I think the best thing that Huddersfield could do was what they tried to do, which is sit back and try to soap it up. But David Silva was on one. I don't know if it's because his son was present and he wanted to he felt some extra. I don't know, but David Silva was just, he's always been good. Don't get it twisted, but he just went straight vintage on people. The way he was making those kids look out there was just unbelievable. And it was only fitting for him to get a goal, right? On that day, with his son there, with his wife up top, saluting him after he scored the goal, it was only fitting that he would score. But he was just very much the point guard and the point of reference for everything City did well. And again, you could be a rival, and I hate City, and I think that's a kind of a newish rival since Klopp and Pep have been at both teams respectively. But you can't knock good football, and David Silva is just incredible at what he does, man. And again, they're playing Huddersfield, but still, I mean, what this guy does with the ball at his foot, it's almost like his foot is the yo-yo, or the ball is the yo-yo to his foot. I mean, it's unbelievable how the control. I mean, it was just crazy. It was crazy. So David Silva, shout out to him, still doing it. Been doing it for a minute. So City they're very blessed to have a player of that quality, of that ilk, that caliber on their team. But yeah, City don't really play anyone for the next 8 weeks. It looks like. I mean, they have a really, really nice schedule. And they didn't make the schedule that they got. That I guess that's the benefits of winning the league. You get this kind of cupcake schedule until you even play anybody. Sure, they opened up with Arsenal, but come on, for this time being, we can kind of throw them in with the rest of these teams that aren't really going to do much against City. But whatever, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Maybe there's a banana skin in these next 6, 7, 8 games that they have to play. I don't see it, but again, football is a beautiful thing because you never know. Anyone could be beat. Jason says, y'all see the training video Liverpool put out today? Fab and Shaqiri look good. I didn't. But that's cool. I'm glad if they're looking good in training. That's only positive for us. It really is. And if you guys want to get into the whole talking about Fabinho starting, should he be the height? Is it a risk to put him in an away game for his first match at Liverpool? Should we wait till we get back at home? Just give me some, because I'm curious about that. I've been going back and forth, and I think I'm at a point now where I do think I want to see him play. Look, he's a professional football player. You came for nothing cheap. Klopp values you. There's a lot of talk that people are saying Klopp is going to use him more as a center back now, which is crazy to me. Simply because something he said in a pre-match presser. I didn't receive it that way. I think he's going to play DM. Now, could he play center back? Klopp said it, but even before he said it, you can see his stature, his build. Sure, he can play. He's played right back. He's a DM, so most of the times that's a pretty smooth transition from DM to center back. I mean, at the end of the day, you're kind of the center back of the midfield, if you will. The deepest guy. You're breaking things up. You're communicating with the other defenders. So I think it would be a natural transition. But yeah, City again is. I mean, when you can have a team that this guy Mendy is a revelation. I mean, they may have done even better if they had him the whole season. I mean, he kept putting those crosses in from the left, and you knew one of them was going to be gold, and surely enough, one of them were. Mendy is just an amazing athlete. He's an amazing athlete, and maybe, just maybe, he might have been the best of the crop of Monaco players that went on to other teams. You think about those players that went on to other teams. Bernardo Silva is another guy who's really, really coming into his own, and I think we all kind of knew what he had, but because he didn't have that much playing time, or as much as he would have liked last season for obvious reasons, they have other players. You're starting to see he's special too, but Mendy is just on another level. This French African brother is crazy. He's crazy, man. His build, he's strong, built, fast, defensively good, putting in great crosses. Listen, man, they got some dudes. They got some dudes, and Mendy is definitely that dude. So I was on the hangout last night, and you guys would know this, but after the hangout is over, we still talk with each other. And to me, that's the spiciest, the best part of it, because we get really into detail about things that maybe we couldn't discuss in the way that we wanted to as the hangout is going on. So if you guys are ever interested, Half Hope definitely tweets out the link and just come on, and maybe just come on late once it's over. And if you want to have your opinions, it'd be nice to see some more Liverpool fans on there too. I know most of you won't do it, but if you ever do, come on. It'd be nice to have you guys. Thompson, Van Dijk wins hearts effortlessly, wins headers effortlessly. Sorry, but in corners we never seem to find him. I won't say never. I think we could definitely stand to see a bit more of him. I'd say that. Jason, good point. I really never see him attacking headers. Yeah, we can see more of it. We can see more of it. I don't know if you guys haven't. I mean, he's had a lot of it. He hasn't connected with them all or scored goals, but I think he's had a fair amount of headers. He could definitely do more. I'll say that. And I don't know if you mean defensively or from defensive corners, or do you mean offensively? I think he's always in and around it. Yeah, guys, you guys gotta check the hangout, man. Like I said, if you're on Twitter and you follow Half Hope, and If you don't follow him, it's at Have Hope Football Hut, I think it is, or just put in Have Hope in the search engine. Follow him, turn the alerts on when or just do the alerts on Sunday. And when he puts it out, get on there. It'd be good to see some more Liverpool fans on there, especially the way they be talking about Liverpool on there. It'd be nice to have some other guys on there to join in. But anyway, where am I at? I talked about City enough. Spurs. Listen, again, you do what you have to do. And that game seemed like it could be slightly close early. Is it going to be another August where, Harry Claims Court doesn't get a goal? He broke that. So he got his goal. And they beat them pretty easily. You know what I mean? And again, people are talking about how Spurs didn't go out and get any players. Look, the biggest signing they made was keeping all their players. That's not to be sneezed at. You got to big them up for that because they could have lost a couple of players. I think Dembele. It's amazing that he hasn't left, and he's still not even starting consistently. Wanyama, I guess he's hurt. So they got some guys that they should be thankful of keeping, and they did that. They got Son away at the Asian thing, as I spoke about early. But Spurs are Spurs. I think Spurs still finish top 4 this season. So, Adam, how's everyone doing today? You never walk alone. We're looking forward to the night's game. I'm good, man. I think everybody else is doing pretty well as well. And also, yes, looking forward to that. It will be a long season for Spurs. Okay, I think a lot of people think the same thing. We'll see. We'll see. But the problem is the small teams won't be scared of them, Spurs. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. I expected, if you want to say Wolves, a small team, to do a bit better than they did against, was it Leicester? Out for 3 games, which is not a bad thing. I think we play them in that group of games. So, but I expected Wolves to be a bit better in that second game. I think they played Everton first, and there's a blue team. Yeah, and against Leicester. So, look, it's a long season. Some of these teams that have come up, they have a long way to go. They have a long way to go. Fulham look really bad. It's the same as with Cardiff City. And I said it before, half jokingly, but I do not really like Warnock. I've never liked him, and so I would be more than happy to see them go down. I think they will be one of the 3 teams that go down. It's still early, I know, but I think they might be one of the teams that it might be a long time before they get a win, if they ever do. I don't know if there's ever been a team that's only gotten draws and losses. Of course, there has been, right, in the Premier League. There had to have been at least one team that's only gotten draws and losses. If there's not, I think they'll be the first. I mean, they are an awful, awful football team. I don't know how, and the championship is not an easy league. I don't know how they came up. There wasn't another team that was better than them. I mean, I know it comes to, I guess, a final game, and maybe they won it or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it was just points. I don't know how they got up. But, I mean, Aston Villa wasn't better than them. Derby County. I mean, there's no teams that were better than Cardiff City. I mean, they look awful. Let's see. Wolves are a bit naive. They'll probably get better. Yeah, I probably would agree with that. Cardiff are in trouble, bottom of the league for me this season. Yeah, they look really, really bad. They look really, really bad. Thanks for the 4 people who are still hanging with me. Appreciate you. So I think that's it. Talked about Chelsea, talked about Spurs. Oh, United. How can I forget? Jose Mourinho, Pogba, the saga continues. Listen, again, you got to give a special shout out to Chris Hughton, another manager who was able to keep a pretty poor team up. Not getting many goals, bunch of draws, lots of losses. Obviously, they won enough. I got enough points to stay up, but yeah, I don't want to. I am too, Mame, but I don't want to get too carried away. We still got business to handle, and although I'm ultra confident against Crystal Palace, it is football and things happen. So we got to handle our own business. It makes no sense to really go in hard on this kind of banter towards United without handling our own. So again. Excuse me. We are playing last. We've got to see all the other teams play and get their results. So now we got to keep pace with a team like Bournemouth and City and Chelsea and Spurs. So let's handle our business. I'm not concerned like a lot of people are with, we got to score 5 or 6 so we can be ahead of City with score. We need to get the points. I don't care how many we win. Yes, I said 4-0, but if we won 1-0, if we won 3-2, 2-1, 4-3, as long as we win, I don't care. So hopefully that's what we get a pretty easy win tonight. United have no style of play. I mean, what is their game? High press on the break. Was it? It's someone brought this up in the Hangouts or after the Hangouts when guys are just kind of chatting, and it's a kind of improvised game. You know, Mourinho is a defensive coach, especially now in his age now and where he is now. He's more of a guy that just wants to play defensive, and everyone has to be a part of that. The strikers, and that's cool. But as far as going forward, there's no real rhyme or reason or real strategy. It seems like, you know what I mean. You got guys just putting in aimless balls, or you got Pogba doing a one-on-one, giving the ball away. Fred hitting a ball, which was totally embarrassing. I mean, guys just don't really know. Again, there's no style, there's no plan. It's just play defensive and hope we can get a goal. You know, it's just really weird, and that's something like Pulis would do, not Mourinho, but it is something Mourinho would do, obviously. So, clean sheet on and a victory will say whole lot. Will say a whole lot for me. Okay, I want to win and clean sheet tonight. Me too, and this is why I'm going with the nil for the opposing team. But I also think it'll happen again. You take Zaha out the game. You limit Benteke as much as you can. Set pieces are going to be key in this game, both ways. I want to see us score another goal from a set piece. Sturridge's goal was cool. I want to see one of the big guys, whether it be Fabinho if he starts, Van Dijk, even Firmino in there getting tall and getting a goal. Whoever, I want to see a goal from a set piece tonight. But at the end of the day, I don't care how we score. Penalties, own goals on their part, whatever. As long as the ball hits the back of the net and Liverpool are victorious, that's all I really care about. So just wanted to come and just talk about kind of what I thought was a positive of playing last, which is what we did last week, although there's another game as well, Southampton, Burnley, I think. But we were one of the last teams that played last week, and now we are the last team on a Monday at night at Selhurst Park. It should be jumping in that stadium, man. Hope the goalkeeper coach isn't deteriorating. Allison. Yeah, the goalkeeping coach gets a lot of stick. Listen, I think if Klopp is keeping him around, I think he sees something. I mean, listen, we've been watching this team longer than Klopp has. So with this coach, so listen, I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon of the goalkeeping coach. I think Allison is easily better than Mignolet and Karius put together. Honestly, any goalkeeper we've had over the past maybe 10 years. So, I'm willing to think that even if Archerberg or whatever his name is isn't that great, I think Allison is good enough to stick to his own principles, believe in himself, keep his confidence levels high, and a goalkeeping coach is obviously essential. Sure, a goalkeeping coach or a coach of anyone like that on a one-on-one kind of basis can improve you. He also can maybe instill some things that keep you from improving. That's life. That's obvious. But I don't think that'll be the case for Allison. More so because I'm just hoping it's not. But I'm just having Allison in, it gives me that much more cockiness with this team, that much more confidence, assuredness. And again, I've said it before, he's going to make mistakes at some point. It's going to happen. So, let's not believe that he's going to be just perfect and every game's going to have a clean sheet. We know that. Teams are going to score against us one way or another. The whole idea is to limit those. And that's what I want to see, an improvement, not just from the goalkeeper, because I think we got that, but just defensively as a whole. I want to see, because at the end of the day, a goalkeeper is a goalkeeper. He's human. No one that plays goalkeeper on any team is, some kind of superhero or larger-than-life human being. They're all human. So if your defense isn't really helping you out, one prime example is Fabianski. I think he's been consistently a pretty good goalkeeper. Most of the time he's been in the Premier League, but he's playing with teams that have really poor defenses. Swansea City, I mean, for as long as he was there, their defense was terrible. West Ham, defense is really bad, lots of holes. So you're only as good as your defense, in my opinion. Now, De Gea might be a special case, although I think Man United's defense, I think they were second last season as far as statistical categories, as far as defending. But De Gea is pretty amazing and maybe the closest thing to someone who isn't human. But he is human. He makes mistakes as well. You see that in the Brighton game. You saw that in the World Cup. So he's not perfect either. He's pretty good. And I think he gets them points alone sometimes. But their defense and he, collectively, they were really bad yesterday, in my opinion. So Allison will make his share of mistakes. Let's hope they're not a lot of the ones that we're accustomed to with Karius. Let's hope he's not punching the ball on his own net or giving the ball, rolling the ball out to a striker right in front of you to get a goal. Sorry, Mr. Comment, my man. The Premier League is very physical, especially set pieces. Yeah, well, they're doing a lot of things in training with him, using rugby pads and being physical with him. So, listen, again, this much time in between games can only be a good thing, guys. As frustrating as it is that we have to wait, it can only be a good thing. Because, again, a lot of these guys are still new. Allison was more or less rushed in. I mean, he had that break from the World Cup. We signed him. He came and took the pictures and smiled and everything, but he still had a vacation time. So then he finally came back, got a game or two under his belt. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the 2 games. But there's more time needed. These guys need more time to understand how they're playing with this team. Goalkeepers maybe a little less time, but still he needs to know how we play on the. We get the ball and we're out, we're gone. And I think he's got that. The passing ability between him and Edison, unbelievable, unbelievable, man. The Brazilians got a special thing going on. We know they've had a special thing going on with outfield players, strikers, midfielders, defenders, even to a degree. Um, Flash players kind of on the edge. But goalkeeper, man, they're. I mean, Edison and Allison. I mean, the distribution, the strength on the throwouts, and I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see. So I think he's got that in his bag, and that's going to be cool. Now it's just kind of continue to play with that defense and training. But yeah, they're kind of being physical with him in training to get him ready for these situations in the Premier League. Strikers try to be physical with you in the air, try to be physical with you before the ball even gets in the air. A lot of different tricks and stuff people try to do. So I think we're doing the best that we can to prepare him for that. I mean, he's a big lad anyway, so I mean, I think he'll be good for the most part. Allison catching crosses and commanding his box at corners tonight is what I wanted to see from goalkeeper. Yeah, yeah. So we look forward to seeing that. He looks to be very vocal, much like Virgil van Dijk. So listen, set pieces, especially corners, are going to be huge. Set pieces in general, but especially corners and defending them. Also getting them offensively, but defending corners tonight is going to be very, very, very key. Crystal Palace will be delighted with every set piece they win. So that's the other thing. Clearing balls out. If you can clear it up the field or on the outside for a throw-in, let's be trying to do that. Let's avoid all the ones. Not that we can't stop it or I'm scared about them, but we don't want to give Crystal Palace any real avenue or any daylight that they can see. Okay, this is a way to get back in this game. This is a way we can hit Liverpool, because that, I think, in years past has been something that people would say. We're definitely going to get a goal from a set piece against Liverpool. I think we've definitely changed. We've definitely improved to a degree in that. So I'm not worried, so to speak. But I just don't want to give Palace any chance. If we can stop them from open play, let's stop them from getting corners as well. Let's just shut them out altogether. Let's not give them any joy. So really excited about the game. I know you guys are as well. I should be back home from work at least 30 minutes before the game, if not earlier than that. And we will come on, Onyx and I, and just give some brief thoughts probably about the starting 11 and how we think this game is going to go. And also, I'm looking forward to seeing what their starting 11 is as well. Are they going to keep the same 11 that beat Fulham? Are they going to switch it up? I believe they will be defensive. I believe they will be defensive. This is what Roy does. And this team, let's be honest, that's probably the best way they can play. The midfield, there's not a lot of patience. I think that's another area that if we can break that down, we're good, especially on the counter. They have nothing in the middle of the park to stick with Naby, whoever's there, really. Hendo, Milner, and Genie is already a better midfield than Milivojevic, Djokovic, whatever his name is, and MacArthur. So to me, the best bet would be to put Coate for the height, for the length. He's long, he's faster than both of those guys in the midfield. But look, I'd be more than happy to see MacArthur and Milivojevic, or whatever his name is. All right, Adam. Yeah, but anyway, let me log off, guys. Enjoy the rest of my morning before I have to go to work, and I'll see you guys a bit later. Have a good one.